USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Introducing the new Volvo XC90 with 7-seat versatility, Google built-in, and advanced safety features for all your precious cargo. The new Volvo XC90, designed for life. Visit volvocars.com/US to learn more.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Buying a car shouldn't eat up your week. That's why Carvana made it convenient. Car buying that fits around your life, not the other way around. You can get pre-qualified for an auto loan in just a couple of minutes and browse thousands of quality car options, all within your terms, all online, all on your schedule. Turn car buying into a few clicks and not a full week's endeavor. Finance and buy your car at your convenience on Carvana. Financing subject to credit approval. Additional terms and conditions may apply.
When you wanna grow your list size, pop up like it's hot, pop up like it's hot, pop up like it's hot. And when you gotta boost your revenue, pop up like it's hot, hey, pop up like it's hot, pop up like it's hot. Pick your favorite template, you can tailor to your brand. They're MailChimp-erific, you're gonna be a fan. MailChimp your marketing with our new customizable pop-ups.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Will the New York Giants, with a new quarterback, but the same regime, be able to win more than 3 games this year in the NFC East? Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is, covering news, notes, and opinions on your favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, right here on the Eagles Pinpool Podcast Network. I'm your host, Phil Stuff. You can also find me hosting Trending in the AM on my YouTube channel, the STT Sports Network. I got it linked below. You're going to want to subscribe to it because on August 1st, I'm dropping a video on how to win an autographed football by Cooper Dejean and Darius Slay, and I've got a picture signed by A.J. Brown as well that I'm going to be raffling these things off. All money raised from raffle ticket purchases goes to Eagles Autism, 100% of it. The only way that you're going to get the rules and how to enter is on the STT Sports Network YouTube page. So make sure to subscribe and tuned in on August 1st for that video, guys. We're breaking down the NFC East this week. We've already done the New York Giants, or the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys. Today is the New York Giants. We are less than 2 weeks away from training camp beginning and our title defense beginning. So I figured it's time to start looking at some of our opponents. First, the East. And then we'll get into some of the other tougher teams in our way of repeating as Super Bowl champions. So let's take a look at the 2024 3-14 New York Giants and what goes on. This is the first training camp in several years that Daniel Jones is not in charge of the offense. He's gone. But Brian Daboll is still the head coach, and Joe Schoen is still the general manager of this team. And let's just be honest, John Mara, the owner of the New York Giants, said very adamantly this offseason, better not take long because I've just about run out of patience. The fact that he's given those two guys another season and another offseason, it's crazy. So what did the New York Giants do? They won 3 games last year. We beat them in week 7, 28-3. And obviously week 18, we had rested all of our starters. We still won 20-13. We play them in 2025, week 6 and 8 of the season. Easy part of our schedule there. Most books have them right around 5.5 wins on the over-under wins for the next season. So the first thing that has to be understood about this New York Giants team is obviously the quarterback situation. Where do they go now with Daniel Jones no longer in the picture? They cut him late last season. Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, two veterans, were brought in to start. They also traded back into the first round and drafted rookie Jackson Dart, presumably be the quarterback of the future. Russell Wilson, a future Hall of Famer, probably will be the starter week 1 with Jameis Winston backing him up. And then we'll probably at some point when they lose enough games start to see Jackson Dart get inserted in. But you kind of got to think that Russell Wilson with stud young wide receiver Malik Neighbors is enough to get this team to win more than 3 games in 2025. Also, with Brian Daboll on the hot seat, I still think Brian Daboll is a solid head coach and could be a solid offensive coach somewhere else. He's just been in a shitty situation since day one with an awful GM running the team. That's another thing. But, I would think Russell Wilson and Brian Daboll with Malik Neighbors is good enough to win 4 or 5 games at least. But how much further than that, I don't know. And if they start to lose games in 2025, how quickly are they forced to put Jackson Dart in and start testing it with the rookie? They obviously also had a great draft. Obviously, Jackson Dart late in the first round. But with the 3rd pick in the draft, they drafted probably the best player in the draft with the 3rd pick, Abdul Carter, adding to their already staunch defensive line. They might actually have the best defensive line in football now with Abdul Carter, with Brian Burns, with Dexter Lawrence, with all the guys they've got there. They're loaded up front. They're going to be a scary team up front to move the football on. It's just all the other pieces, will they fit together? They're not going to be a very good football team. Will they? 5.5 is, we talked about earlier in the week, 9.5 for the Commanders. I was like, that's a little low, that number. I think 11 or 12. 5.5 is about right. They're about a 5, maybe if everything goes right, 6-win team, because you've got to understand they're going to want to see what the kid can do. I actually feel bad for Jameis Winston because he got brought in and then all this other stuff happened. He ain't going to get any playing time this year. And how much leeway does John Mara give them? If they start out 2-5, 1-4, will they fire and clean house right off the get-go? I mean, I'm looking at their schedule. They start with Washington, Dallas, Kansas City, the Chargers. They don't have an easy, not easy because no game is easy for the Giants. They don't have a real winnable challenge till week 5 with the New Orleans Saints. They got an extremely difficult schedule this year. No pushover teams for them. So it's going to be a long season for them. But we're going to enjoy watching the quarterback situation unfold. I think Russell Wilson will do a solid job. I think Russell Wilson will find a way to lead them to some competency at the early parts of the year. Not wins, but competency. And then they turn the ball over to Jackson Dart somewhere around week 12. And then they see, and then, maybe Brian Daboll's gone. Joe Schoen, I don't care what happens this offseason. Joe Schoen's gone at the end of the season. Maybe middle of the season for all I know at this point. There's no doubt in my mind, despite drafting Abdul Carter, he basically backdoored and lucked his way into that. The New York Giants are going to be the worst team in the NFC. The New York Giants may be the 2nd or 3rd worst team in the NFC, period, not just the NFC East. There's not too many other teams other than the New Orleans Saints and maybe the Carolina Panthers in the NFC. In the AFC, maybe a few teams that are on that level, the Raiders, et cetera. But, man, they're going to be bad this year. I'm going to predict 5 wins for the New York Giants this year. I think they're going to push it. We're going to beat them in week 6 and week 8. I'm not worried about that. So it'll be 2 more wins in a row against the Giants here. But Russell Wilson, good for him. He's going to be entering his, 14th season in the NFL. I think it'll be a question after this year whether he plays much more. He'll be 37 this year. He's got a chance to eclipse 40,000. No, I was looking at the wrong. He's got a chance to get close to 50,000 passing yards. He's at 46, 135 right now. He's at 350 touchdowns for his career. He's a very close, very, very smart chance that he gets in the NFL Hall of Fame. But anyway, we'll get to that when that bridge crosses. Guys, make sure you're following along Eagles Pinball Podcast Network, and make sure you subscribe to the STT Sports Network to catch that video August 1st on how to win the raffle prizes. Guys, everybody have a great day. Go Birds! And bubbles up.
The Jack Welch Management Institute at Strayer University helps you go from, I know the way, to I've arrived with our top 10 ranked online MBA. Gain skills you can learn today and apply tomorrow. Get ready to go from make it happen to made it happen. And keep striving. Visit strayer.edu/Jack Welch MBA to learn more. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
What if Black Friday deals were available in the summer? Don't miss week-long doorbusters at Best Buy during Black Friday in July. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
This episode is brought to you by Starbucks. Smooth, bright, deliciously crafted. Introducing Starbucks Sansera Blend, their smoothest, brightest coffee yet. It's a new kind of light roast, one that's packed with so much flavor, it shines no matter how you brew it. So go ahead and try it hot, iced, black, or with a splash of creamer. Visit athome.starbucks.com/Sansera-blend-coffee to bring Starbucks Sansera Blend home.
Jif peanut butter. It's that Jiffing good, it doesn't really need advertising. So instead, enjoy the calming sounds of the ocean. Jif. Ooh, it's that jiffing good. Get your Jif at Jif.com.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, faucets, vanities, doors, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through July 18th. Not a member? Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.